Welcome. Well, you're at home with Jim and Joy, and you are an important part of our EWTN family. And we're so delighted to be with you today and grateful that you've welcomed us into your home. Now, we want to hear from you. We're taking your phone calls today. You know, it's Monday. It's a live show. We want you to give us a jingle at 1-800-221-9460. If you're calling us and you are outside North America, you can reach us at 205-271-2980. You can always send us an email with a question or a comment to jimandjoy@ewtn.com, or check us out on Facebook. And I say a blessed Lent to you in these most difficult times that we are living in. And I also, the question for today's show was that we want to hear from you. We want to know, how are you and yours staying centered in faith during this coronavirus pandemic? And I know that it's a highly unusual time in which we live. And a month ago, a week ago, none of us would have thought that we would have been in this situation where we find ourselves right now. But I'm grateful and thankful that EWTN has been constant, has been steady the course. Many of us aren't able to receive the Eucharist in Mass, going to our churches. A lot of our dioceses have been shut down. And EWTN brings us daily Mass, steady the course. Thank God for that. We celebrated yesterday with Mass on our knees, standing, participating in the best that we could in our home. And we were so grateful to do that.
But it feels so very special this day. It's especially meaningful for us to be with you, to go through this time, this crisis time. May not be the coronavirus pandemic for you, maybe other sickness and suffering and flu and whatever it might be in your life, and concerns. And so we are united together in community together. In every situation, through prayer, we make our needs known to God. And the promise is that the peace of God, the serenity of God, that passes all understanding, will keep your hearts and your minds in the knowledge and love of God and of His Son, Jesus Christ, our Lord. And we're all in different places in terms of the severity of what's going on, the pressure that's there. It might be a financial pressure in your life. You may not be able to alleviate that pressure right now, but hopefully it will be alleviated. But we bear one another's burdens in Christ. And that's the mission of EWTN. Thank God for Mother Angelica, whose anniversary of her passing is coming up on Friday. And I did want to say, last week on the Feast of St. Joseph, we made a special consecration to St. Joseph. We made a consecration to Our Lady, and then we worked through the consecration book by Father. And so we were in our chapel at Her Choice Birmingham Women's Center. We were blessed to have a tabernacle and to have Jesus in a monstrance there. And so we had a little statue of St. Joseph and Jesus there. Beautiful statue. And we prayed the prayer of consecration. I'm going to tell you, it was really powerful. No matter what you feel or think, making that pledge to give yourself to St. Joseph, the terror of demons. I love that one, the terror of demons, and the one who cared for Our Lady and cared for Jesus to care for us, to be our spiritual father. He is anyway, but to say, I want you to be that. I want to cooperate with you in all of this. So that was a great blessing. And I think that's one of the ways that our faith is centering us in this time.
Yes, it was beautiful. We participated in that as a couple, and did the readings every day, and took that lovely journey into the obedience, the faithfulness, the power, the strength, the authority of Joseph, to learn about him, so that the center of our own faith would be enriched. God knows what was coming. We didn't know. I mean, we didn't know as a country, we didn't know as a world. I mean, this virus has gone all over the world, how this was going to affect so many people. But it was like we were being spiritually prepared, just to be strengthened and fortified in ways that God was speaking into our hearts, to increase faith, to increase hope, and to believe in Jesus more and more,
Amen.
and to love and serve him more. And it's been a journey.
Amen.
It certainly has been a journey.
How are you in yours staying centered in faith at this very tender, anxiety-producing time? How are you staying in faith, in peace, and in love? Please give us a call now. We want to hear from you. We'll be right back. Plenty more to come. Please don't go away.
Welcome back. Well, remember that we're taking your phone calls today during this live broadcast, so give us a jingle at 1-800-221-9460. If you're calling and you're outside North America, you can reach us at area code 205-271-2980. You can always send us an email with a question to jimandjoy@EWTN.com, or check us out on Facebook. And so the question that we put out is, how are you staying centered during the coronavirus pandemic? And I know for me, yesterday, as much as I enjoyed the Mass on EWTN, when I woke up yesterday, I was heartsick. I was heartsick in that I was longing for Jesus, because my spirit knows it never goes a week without receiving the Eucharist. And and I was hurting, and my heart was just like heavy, as a prayer intercessor, just bearing the burdens of life and all that's going on to people and their suffering, be them medical issues, financial issues, family issues. There's just so much, and it just hurt. I mean, and I just kept saying to you, I just want to cry. That's how my spirit felt, like just like wanted to cry out. And the psalm is, my soul longs after you. It was really, there was that longing. And I pray, this is my prayer, that a greater good is going to come out of this. And all of us as people of God, as Catholics, as we receive the Eucharist, and maybe some of us casually, or we don't really know all the graces that are happening to us in our lives when we're receiving, that you will now understand everything, that the power of the Eucharist in your body, in your soul, in your emotions, how you live, how you love, how you be, and the importance of that. And it will change the world. I mean, that's my great prayer.
Joe, we have a call from Mary. Welcome to At Home with Jim and Joy. Mary, please share with us your thoughts.
I just want to say how grateful I am for EWTN, for Mother, and for God's work through Mother, because this program has been my mainstay for, I can't even count how many years. And I find so much peace and joy and hope in my daily prayers, because I have a beautiful prayer life. And I'm a grandmother. I'm a mother of 7 living children and a grandmother of 36
Wow.
children. So God has blessed me abundantly. And I know the greatest blessing is Jesus, of course, but how he's worked through EWTN for me, for my family, for my friends. I can't even thank you enough. Thank you, Jim and Joy. We love you both.
Thank you, Mary, and be well. And that's what a beautiful testimony, right?
Yeah.
So many people for so many years, but what a prophet she was. This ministry, this network was called for a time such as this. As here we are, right? I mean, the world needs EWTN now, not next week. Now the world needs EWTN in this present moment, in this present time where we find ourselves. And I know just for us, I mean, we work at the network. What a blessing it's been to us to be receivers of the blessing, all the teachings, everything, but then also for us to be the blessing to be donors to the ministry. And if you're out there and this ministry is blessing you, Doug said it this morning on Jeanette's show and on the radio, still keep us between your power bill and your gas bill. EWTN needs your support that we would continue on, right, in this time.
And Michael Warsaw has had some beautiful pieces that he's put out there again. It does really help you to understand that we are the family of God.
Yes.
We are the children of God, that we weep with those who weep, we mourn with those who mourn, we rejoice with those who rejoice. And thank God EWTN is at the place where it is now. Had this been 15, 20 years ago, 20 years ago, could we reach as many people as we're reaching now? Almost 230 million people in every continent and so on. But I've really appreciated the Eucharistic adoration on EWTN lately.
Yes.
And so periodically we're breaking in, the Lord in the monstrance literally there in our chapel. And boy, just we were walking through the house and suddenly, we stopped.
We stopped.
And there he is, right there. And some beautiful scriptures or music that's being played. What a wonderful faith. And we have the daily mass shown several times a day, Chaplet of Divine Mercy, 3 o'clock.
The Rosary.
The Eucharist, the Rosary, seems day and night. And it's the main staples again. When you suffer and there's crisis, you go back to the main things.
Right.
So I think there's a lot of people, maybe they've never prayed the Rosary before. Maybe they don't even know that much about Eucharistic adoration. So many people now are watching EWTN that have never watched or that lapsed for a time that are coming back. And there's also a lot of live streaming from various dioceses.
Yes.
And so they're getting to hear their Mass from their parish or from their local bishop. And it's just a beautiful thing. God works all things together for good for those who love him and who are trying to fit into his plans and his purposes. So give us a call or email us. We want to hear from you. How are you staying centered in the faith? Because we're getting, bombarded, maybe rightfully so, from other networks and news, including EWTN's news, which is a great resource. And we need the facts. I mean, we need to know what's going on. But you can't watch that 24 hours a day.
Right.
It's facts and faith.
Right. You have to take a retreat, right?
You do. You have to get away from it sometimes. And you have to be centered in the Lord. You have to be quiet. You watch EWTN. Other times you don't watch EWTN. You just be still and know that God is God. Joy?
We have Roseanne on the phone. Roseanne, welcome to At Home with Jim and Joy. Your question or your comment?
I just wanted to thank them for being there for us at this time. Got great peace from watching Jim and Joy. I just love EWTN. Now at a time where we don't have Mass, we're still able to see Mass. And I know that we're still getting the graces and the protection from our Lord. And I try to put it all the time out on Facebook, how wonderful it is to be close to the Lord and to let our faith be bigger than our fear at this time.
Amen.
Excellent. That's excellent what she said. We need to make our faith bigger than this fear. This fear, it can just overtake you, right? And she's being a wonderful media missionary out there on Facebook. She's letting everybody know about it because EWTN is everywhere, not just on the television tube, right?
We need to make that a commercial. EWTN is everywhere. Just think that'll work. But it's really interesting, and you can check us out on Facebook as well. But what she said, I don't know if she's a media missionary or not, but there is something called the EWTN Media Missionaries. Just go to your website, EWTN.com. It'll say EWTN Media Missionaries. Click that. We got a call the other day in our media missionary office, of which I direct the EWTN Media Missionaries. And it was a woman in a nursing home. And she said, I'm in a nursing home. This is the situation that's going on during this time. This is how we're feeling. I want to join the EWTN Media Missionaries now. And so she became an EWTN Media Missionary. So what does that mean? She said, I want 150 or 180 of your information about your scheduling, about your programs, and they're beautiful. One piece, really beautiful looking. I want to give them to everybody in our nursing home. So here's somebody in a nursing home ministering to the other people in a nursing home through EWTN. So I encourage everyone listening. This is a great mission right now, because we need a mission too, as well as taking care of our own souls. You can, and we send you information. I do a video each month, and you can upload that, those of you who know how to do that, and you don't have to just be in a nursing home. And you upload that to your email, Facebook, Twitter, and you say, this is what's going on. This is the programming of EWTN. These are the specials we have on, especially during this time of crisis. so that we will not be in a spirit of fear, but of hope, peace, of sound mind, of self-discipline. So please join the EWTN Media Missionaries today.
Well, we have an email and it says, the virus and the self-isolation are helping me in my faith. Lent never goes as well as I would like. I start with good intentions, which gradually fade away as Lent progresses. However, this year, I find myself praying much more. Sacrifices I am forced to endure because of the situation are much easier to endure because I am offering them up for those who have it worse than me. And this is Ray from Pinecrest, Florida. And that is true, right? There are so many people who are suffering, and we all went into Lent, right? And we had those ashes put on our head. We didn't have a clue what was coming down the road. You know, we didn't know it was going to be like this, but we went in and we received those ashes and we committed ourselves and we said, to the best of our ability, Jesus, I'm all in. You got me. I'm all in. Here I am, Lord. And well, here we are. Jesus, we need you. Jesus, we trust in you. Jesus, we love you. And God, help us all.
There's always surprises, and that's, you know, we've learned that in our seasons of Lent. We've said this numerous times, that other times you were battling with cancer, I was battling with a heart attack in the season of Lent. And, you know, you don't know those things are coming. We didn't know this pandemic was coming, but here it is. So you leave room. You can't say, I'm going to do so many things, that you can't be surprised by God or surprised by evil, and say, Lord, you know, all of us are doing, we didn't ask for it, it got laid on us. This pandemic and other illnesses and sicknesses and things that are happening. And so you shoulder that. You walk the Via Dolorosa with the Lord. So it's not just about his crucifixion. He says, if anyone would come after me, you must deny yourself, take up your cross and follow me. And so we do that, but sometimes there are various crosses and things and historic realities and surprises that get laid on us. We don't ask for them. We're not desirous of them. It's just happening. So this is a part of our Lent. But Easter's coming. And Pentecost is coming. And so we have something to look forward to. This will cease. And guess what? There'll be other things too. But we are an Easter people. We are a resurrection people. We are a Pentecost people. We suffer these things and go through them that we might know deliverance, that we might know that Jesus Christ came to seek and save the lost, to conquer death and hell and our flesh. That's the final emphasis. But we must walk through this time. We must drink the cup totally to get to the other side of it. And we're going to do it all together.
We are. Well, we received some other wonderful emails, and people have said such great things. It said, watching EWTN gives me more time to pray and quiet contemplation. And as concerning as these times are, it's been a powerful Lent for me. And I think one of the things that we've done, especially the other night, we just had to get out of the house. I mean, like, you're stay at home, hashtag stay at home, right? Stay in place. And so
we went in our yard.
We went in our yard. And so we went out in the yard, we started a fire. I resurrected, we have this fire pit that you made years ago. And I just went out and started picking up all the pieces of wood and all the kindling. And I just like, I'm going to make a fire. And so we just sat out in the yard.
You walk around the house picking up sticks. I didn't know what you were doing. It's like, what are you doing?
I was making a collection, and we had a blazing fire and just sat outside, listened to the crackling of the wood, and listened to music, and just to get out. And so sometimes maybe if you're in an apartment, just go out on your deck, go out on your front step, but get out and look up. Look up. I mean, you can just look at everything and it's like, this is overwhelming, and lose your focus. But we have to look up, and we have to look to Jesus in the midst of this time and cry out and say, Lord, give me strength, give me hope, give me peace, give me patience. And what a time for all of our virtues to grow as we're all suffering together in family life and marriages and as we go.
Well said. We're here for you. EWTN is here for you, and we believe you're here for us in prayer and in giving back and forth to one another. We'll be right back. Plenty more to come. Please don't go away.
Welcome back. Well, before we wrap up today's show, we're going to go to Rome to check in with Joan Lewis. Now, for those of you who don't know, Joan is under lockdown in Rome. Joan, how are you holding up?
Well, hi, Jim and Joy. Just a brief message from your correspondent in Rome, who, of course, has been quarantined for the last 10 days because of the coronavirus situation that has struck Italy in such an incredibly fierce manner. I am in quarantine. What that means is, for me, as for couples and families, and it means staying home, being inside, and you can go outside for one of 4 government-approved reasons. You have to go to the pharmacy or get groceries, you have to see a doctor, or you're going for work-related matters. Or, of course, you're in Rome, you were quarantined, but you actually live in Florence. So if you're going to travel, you have to have with you a government-issued document. I found it online, filled it out. I must carry it with me at all times with my name, my address, where I'm going. It has the 4 reasons that you are able to leave your home. When you sign it, you say you know those 4 reasons. They are really checking movements here. Cars now, people can only be in cars. They're going to get huge fines if they are in cars for any reason other than the 4 I just mentioned. Anyway, if I want to go to the grocery store, I leave my home. I have my ID with me. I have this form with me. And I have to go to a grocery store, not in the center of Rome, but of course right in my neighborhood. I am trying to obey all the rules of staying away from people, not congregating. Every blessed thing, of course, is closed here except pharmacies can stay open, grocery stores, banks, and the post office. So if you need money, there are ATM or you can go to your bank. I've lived alone for a long time, so being quarantined, of course, it's forced, but I'm getting along. I have a very, I guess you could say, positive personality. I miss people, of course. I miss church. I miss going out to meals with friends, just having an ice cream together. But that'll all come back someday. So for right now, I have a beautiful home. I'm in my dining room. I have a beautiful home. I'm enjoying my home. There's lots to do here. And I think that however long this lasts, I'm going to make it work. I'm a very optimistic person. I am positive. And I think that's what's going to help us here. I'm in touch with people with videos and emails and a lot of other things. I've done FaceTime with family members, and that helps a lot, just being in touch. So I say to you, whatever's coming to the U.S., follow whatever the government says and pray like all of us. That's one thing I do miss, by the way. I have prayers and Mass online, but I miss the Eucharist. So, well, this is just brief, and maybe we can get together again, but for now, God bless. May He keep us in His care.
Joan just beautifully said, and it is wonderful to see your face. We're united with you, all our brothers and sisters there in Rome and throughout Italy that is suffering so much. Wednesday's show will be about 15 minutes later than usual. Our show airing EWTN.
30 minutes.
What did I say, Ben?
15.
Okay, 30 minutes. That's why you have a wife like this, get you right in sync. EWTN will bring you the solemn Mass for the Annunciation from the Holy Land, and so we will be starting at 1:30. Friday, we will return to our normal time of 1 p.m. Check out EWTN.com for all the latest times and added events in your area. In this time, Masses have been canceled. Keep in mind we still have the Mass every day on EWTN, Rosary, other devotions. Be sure to join the friars as they appear on 3 o'clock, especially Eastern time, later today. So listen to the words of Jesus. Come to me, all of you who travail and are heavy laden, and I'll refresh you. Take my yoke upon you. Learn from me. I'm gentle, I'm lowly of heart, and you will find rest for your soul. My yoke is easy, my burden's light. You're an important part of this family. You're always at home with EWTN. Bye now.